Hey everyone, it's Jamie here at Teachers Tech, and welcome to what might be the most important video I make this year. We're diving deep, and I mean deep, into the absolute powerhouse that is Google NotebookLM in 2026. If you've been following the channel, you know we covered this tool back when it was just Project Tailwind. Back then, it was a neat little note-taking experiment. But fast forward to today, 2026, and this whole thing has evolved into a full-blown cognitive engine. It's just not for notes anymore. With the integration of Gemini 3 Flash model, we're talking about a tool that can ingest massive amounts of data, videos, audio, PDFs, slides, and help you think, create, and research faster than you ever thought possible. Today, I'm not just giving you a tour. We're going to build a real project together. We're going to simulate a full research deep dive into NASA's Artemis 2 mission, which is literally launching right now in early 2026. We'll use real NASA technical reports and press conference transcripts and real YouTube updates to show you how to master this tool. By the end of this class, you'll master the focus and peel prompting method. You'll be talking to your notes in new interactive audio mode, and you'll be generating data tables and infographics that would take a human analyst hours to build. All right, we're in. First, let's talk about the source limits because that changed in 2026. In the free version, you're capped at 50 sources per notebook. If you upgrade to the NotebookLM Plus, that's part of the Google One AI Premium plan, it jumps to 300 sources with a massive 500,000 words per source. Now for our Artemis 2 project, we need to get data in. In 2026, there are two ways to do this, the classic upload and the deep research search. We're going to be using both. Now, look at the bottom of Add Sources area, right through here. We have four distinct buttons. We have Upload Files, Websites, which is YouTube's and websites together. We have Drive, and we have Copy Text. Now, we're going to be starting with uploading files, and I have a number of different PDFs that I've already downloaded here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Upload, and you can see the three PDFs. I'm going to select all three and click Open. Watch how fast that just processed it. It just didn't upload it, it read it. Now, we're not done with adding our sources that we've already went through and got ourselves. If we want to add more, just go back up and add sources. This time I have a website that I want to add, and it's right here. So we just need to go ahead and go and copy the URL, go back to our NotebookLM. Under website, we're going to go and paste this link in. So when I go and insert this, NotebookLM scrapes the text from that page instantly, stripping out the ads and menus. Now, this is my favorite part right here. So I'm going to go to Add Sources. This time I'm going to grab this YouTube video. Again, just copy, paste it back over here. And this will automatically extract this transcript. Now I can chat with the video. Okay, we have our base files, but what if I'm missing something? Now look over here at this big search bar in the center that says search the web for new sources. This is the deep research integration. Now I realize I don't have any specific radiation safety protocols, so instead of opening a new tab and Googling it, I'll type right in here, Artemis 2 radiation safety protocols. Before I go and hit search, I do want to point out you can see from the deep research, the fast research, if you're familiar with Gemini. And the other thing is I'm searching the web, but you can actually search your Google Drive if you did have different files in there that would help with answering these. I'm going to go ahead and send this. Now you can see it found 7 more sources. I'm just going to click on this and you can see them all. Right now, these are all checked. I'm going to uncheck them because I might not add them all. I can go through and select the ones I want. So maybe this YouTube video right here or this other website, and we do have a PDF here. So I'm going to add one more and then I'm going to import these ones into my notebook. So this is a hybrid workflow. You upload what you have, but you search for what you miss. Now that we have our data, most people make a mistake. They just type summarize this. Don't do that. That's boring and it gives you a generic answer. We're going to use a technique I call the focus and peel method. It's a simple concept. You narrow the scope immediately, peel back the layers to iterate on the details. So let's try this. Instead of summarize Artemis 2, we're going to use this gap hunter prompt. This is an advanced prompt structure that I found in the research, and it's perfect for finding what's missing in a plan. So here's the prompt we're going to use. You're an expert aerospace analyst, From the selected sources, identify at least 3 categories of strategic risk in the Artemis timeline. For each, write 1 sentence description, an example from the text that highlights the risk, and a suggested follow-up question. Present this as a markdown table. Now, see what we did there. We have the persona, the expert aerospace analyst. This tells the AI to use technical language, not 5th grade English. The constraint is 3 categories, and the format is the markdown table. Before I go and hit send on this, I just want to point out, if you're new to NotebookLM, I have all the sources checked off right now, so it's going to look through all of these based on this prompt. You can uncheck these to have 1 or as many of them as you want to apply the prompt to. So you can see it says 8 sources right here. That's what it's based on. So let's send this off. Now, look what it did. It just didn't summarize. It found these specific ones put into a table, like this one, space weather exposure. The timing of the Artemis 2 mission coincides with period of peak solar activity. Now, what I want to point out, again, if you're new to NotebookLM, everything is grounded in your citing. So if this is cited here, this is pulling it from this. This isn't searching somewhere on the internet. This is going to really avoid the hallucinations of it. But it's always good to double check things, and this makes it easy to double check because you can see exactly where this information is coming from. So as I scroll down, you can see you have a few different options where you could copy paste this information out. What I like to do is, if you get something that you really want to hang on to, save it as a note. When you click save it as a note, it will place it over here so you have easy access to that table. And if you click on this here, you can see you can actually convert it to a source that will put it over here. Or you can export to Sheets because it's in a table format, or Docs. So you have lots of options what to do with this information you just dug up. You can continue on with questions down here, but I want to show you a different way you could ask a question to help you with learning different items. And this way is called the Socratic tutor. So this is great if you're a student trying to learn the material. So we just don't want it to summarize again. We're going to place this one in. Quiz me on the Artemis 2 flight profile. Ask me 1 question at a time. Wait for my answer. If I'm wrong, give me a hint based on the source text, and we'll send this off. Okay, so here's question 1. According to the Artemis 2 mission overview, the Orion spacecraft will perform a translunar injection, TLI burn, to travel to the moon. What specific type of trajectory will the crew utilize to ensure that after flying around the far side of the moon, Earth's gravity naturally pulls the spacecraft back home without requiring a propulsive engine burn? Okay, I must admit, I have no idea. I did have to look this up for a wrong answer, and I'm going to give this a wrong answer. So it's the near rectilinear halo orbit. So I want to see how it helps me. Okay, so here's the result back. So it said it's a very good guess, but it's incorrect for the Artemis 2 flight profile. So it goes through and starts to explain why it's the wrong answer. And everything is going to be connected back to the sources again. So that's an important part. It's not going to be going out searching other places. And then we're on to question 2. So this is a great way to learn from the material that you give it. So if you're preparing for an exam or deeper learning. Now, this is the feature that broke the internet last year, the audio overview. People call it the AI podcast. But in 2026, it's even better. So it's no longer just a passive listening, it's interactive. So if I take a look at audio overview right here, and we'll generate one for our Artemis project. But I just don't want to click on it. I want to go to customize first. So when we click on this, we're going to get some options. And I really like this upgrade that they did with this, because at first when NotebookLM came out, you couldn't really specify too much. But you can see you can do a deep dive, brief, critique. I really like this one with the debate option here. So we can pick our length. I'm going to pick short here, and we have a language output. So I want to point out here, this is an important thing to add. So in this case right here, I'm going to say focus heavily on the crew selection. Reed Wiseman, Victor, discuss the backgrounds, keep the tone excited but professional. I'm going to go ahead and generate this now. Okay, it's all done. We'll take a listen in a second. I just want to point out, see how this is still based on 8 sources? It's because I had all of these checked. You can uncheck or check as many as you want. Now, if I click on this,
a huge step forward.
It opens up and starts playing.
It's really the critical one. We have our sources lined up,
yeah,
and they all point to just how high stakes this mission is.
Absolutely. We're going to focus on the crew, especially Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. And
Okay, so it did exactly what I asked it to do. It focused on the crew and the specific names that I told it. The other thing I want to point out, notice that it's only 4 minutes and 25 seconds. That's because I told it to make a short one. I do want to point out right here, you can download. You can even change the playback speed if you want it listening to it a little quicker. But I find the powerful thing is the interactive mode. You can actually join the conversations and ask questions. So I'm going to go to interactive mode. Then I do need to hit play audio, and I'll hit play audio. Then I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit to after the tell about
Welcome
what this
to
is
the
about.
deep dive. Today we are looking at we're going to focus on the crew, especially Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover, and what they're facing on a.
Oh, our listeners got something shared.
And then I'm going to
Let's
ask a
hear it.
question. Hey, I noticed you mentioned Victor Glover. What is his specific role on the mission?
That is a great question.
We're happy you asked about Victor Glover.
He is the pilot for Artemis 2nd.
His role is crucial, especially since this is a test mission.
Our sources highlight how hands-on the crew must be.
So did you see that? It stopped, answered my specific question using the source data we uploaded, and then went back to the show. So imagine you're continuing to work, you have a 50-page research paper uploaded, you're just not listening to a summary, you're having a conversation with it. So you can say, well, wait, explain that formula again. And remember, you can put NotebookLM as an app on your mobile device as well. The audio overview is amazing, especially in interactive mode. I really like this option of video overview. So I'm going to go through and just customize something real quickly again, but you can see what we're after here. We can create an explainer or a brief, choose your language, and we can even choose our visual style. So I'm going to go with this one right here. And now things to try. I want to say create a visual explainer of the hybrid free return trajectory, visually demonstrate how the 2-orbit checkout works around Earth, and clearly highlight the point of no return at the TLI burn. Let's go ahead and generate this video. All right, we have it ready. This took a few minutes longer than the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. So it should pop up and we can hit play again.
So, humans are finally going back to the moon after 50 years.
I'm going to
But
change the
getting there
playback
is only
speed.
half the battle. The real question is, how do you make absolutely sure they get home safe? Well, it turns out the flight plan has this incredibly clever built-in safety net.
Well, you can
Let's
jump
dig into
ahead.
how and the Orion capsule could actually handle the trip. But after all that fire and thunder.
So you can see it's covering the parameters that I gave it, that it created this. If I jump around, it'll just give you an idea.
I mean, you have to be sure. Every single system has to
of
get
the
a big
different
green check mark
graphics
before
that
mission
were
control will
created
even
for
think
this.
about giving them the final go.
If you want to download this, just click here. This is going to download it as an MP4. So this is a great way to create these explainer videos or just those deep dives into the topics, again, based on all the sources that you've curated, and then you can create these videos from. Okay, fun time is over. The podcast is great for concepts, but when you need hard data, you need the data tables features. This was a late 2025 edition, and it changed the game for analysts. In our Artemis sources, we have data scattered everywhere. The launch date is in the press release, the mission duration is in the PDF, the budget is in the congressional report. I don't want to read 3 documents to make a spreadsheet. I want NotebookLM to do it. So over here, we have our data table. I'm going to make sure that I go to customize to tell it what I want. So describe the data table you want to create. This is what I'm going to say. Create a data table listing the key mission parameters for Artemis 2. Columns should include parameter name, value, source, document, and date of information. I'm going to click generate. Let's go ahead and open this up. Look at this right here. So we have everything that we wanted in this nice table structure. This only took about a minute to do. The amount of time that just saved to go through all of this research to pull out this into something that I can move to Google Docs, and everything is going to be cited where the information is coming from. Now to go to Google Docs, all I have to do is export to Sheets right here. This will open up Google Sheets, and then I can go ahead and format this the way I'd want. So maybe you take this information and you create any charts or graphs from it. But let's try something a little harder now. I'm just going to close this table and I'm going to go back to data table. If you just click on it generally, it will create kind of a general table without any of the specifications, what we're telling it. So I'm going to make sure I click on this. And this time I'm going to say, create a comparison table of the Artemis 1 versus the Artemis 2. Compare crew, duration, objectives, and distances traveled. So let's generate. Okay, so about 30 seconds later, I have this. Let's open this up. And this is perfect for identifying changes. It clearly shows the Artemis 1 was uncrewed and went 40,000 miles past the moon, while the Artemis 2 is crewed and does a lunar flyby. If you're a student comparing historical events or a business analyst comparing competitor prices, this feature alone is worth the price of admission. We've ingested data, we've listened to it, we've structured it. Now we need to create with it. And this is where studio mode really flexes its muscles. This used to be just a place to save notes, but now it's a creation site. So you can see the option to create a study guide under reports. So there's a few different options you have here, from briefing doc to blog post, but we have study guides. So short answer, quiz suggesting easy questions, and glossary of key terms. So let's say I'm a teacher and I need to teach a class on the Artemis tomorrow. I don't have time to write a lesson plan. I click create a study plan. So instantly, NotebookLM grabs my pinned citations and the key themes it generates. This right here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So what it creates for me, and I'll just scroll through it quickly. You can see I have a short answer quiz answer key. I have the essay questions. I have a glossary of terms all created for me with just that simple click and pulling from the information that I pulled together. But let's go bigger. I need to pitch this documentary to a producer. I need slides. I'm going to just type this into the studio chat under slide deck right here. I'm going to describe what I want. And you can see I have a detailed deck to presenter slides here. I'm just going to leave everything here as default, but I'm going to say create a 10 slide pitch deck outline for a documentary about the Artemis 2. Include visual suggestions for each slide. So hit generate. Now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm just going to go hit play on this as well. Let's start the slideshow. So I could be using NotebookLM as my slideshow, and I can just arrow through, and we'll just do it quickly. You can see kind of how they put things together in the format here. That's a great way. For another way, if you're a visual learning that likes to take all these different notes and add some images to it, this is a great way to learn as well. I'm going to hit escape, and you can see you can download it. This will be as a PDF, and you do have some share options as well. Okay, let's use another teacher example, and I need to explain the complex orbit of Artemis 2. So text is boring. The mind map option here, I'm just going to go ahead and click on this. And this one is done quickly. I'm going to open this up, and instantly it visualizes the relationships here. So if I was taking a look at flight time, you can see how everything's broken down to the scientific objectives. If I have the arrows, this means I can continue down into a further breakdown. If I go to the end here, so if I click on this solar system formation, it's going to bring me to the chat where I can get more information and have a conversation at that point. What if I need a handout or maybe a graphic for social media? Take a look at Infographic. I'm going to go to the customize here, and you can go through, pick what you want from landscape, portrait, or square, depending on what you're using for it. I'm going to keep mine in landscape, level of detail. I'll keep it standard. And this is what I'm going to ask it. Generate an infographic focusing on the mission design constraints risk. Highlight the Victor Glover quote about point of no return and the central visual element. List the orbital logistics and solar max as secondary risk factors. Let's go ahead and generate this. Okay, here we go. I'm always excited to see what it creates, but this is the one area. Sometimes I do find little glitches in the typo with typos. It's getting so much better than it used to be, but let's open this up. All right, right away, just a glance. I kind of like the look of everything, what they've done with just the graphics. And if I look around, it looks not bad here. Oh, right through here, I can see something's up with that. So maybe I'd have to go back and point this out, but it did get the quote out there, but just the way I'd have to double check on how it's pulling this image out of it, because that doesn't look quite right to have that character there in front of the translunar one without something closing it. So it's pulling something out incorrectly there. But this is something that a year ago, you could even get close to creating something like this. So do have some fun with creating these infographics, and you can use them for so many different things. Now, I want to show you flashcards and quiz, and I actually went ahead and just created them for you. So if I go ahead and click on flashcards, you get an idea what they look like. So I can have 66 cards down here we can download. But if I go through, you can see what are the 2 primary simultaneous goals of NASA's Artemis moon plan, and then I click to see the answers. So it gives a way, for studying. We can go deeper with explain as well. So it's a nice graphical representation to just help you learn more about the topic. The other thing is we have our quiz. So if I go ahead and click on quiz, earlier on in the video, I showed you how to get things quizzed one at a time. This will create the quiz for you, kind of a multiple choice, and you can just go through, and we do even have a hint option there as well. So just a couple other tools we have in NotebookLM that you can quickly take from the information that you gave it to create these study tools. So there you have it. NotebookLM in 2026 is a beast. We went from finding sources with deep research to generating video overviews and infographics in one click. Here's my challenge to you. I want you to pick one topic you've been meaning to learn. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's crypto, maybe it's the history of Rome. Use the Search the Web feature to find 5 sources. Throw them into NotebookLM, generate a video overview or an infographic, then let me know in the comments, did it hallucinate or did it blow your mind? I've put the link to the NASA sources we've used today in the description, so if you want to replicate this project. Thanks for watching this time on Teacher's Tech. I'll see you next week with more tech tips and tutorials.